You take your pill every morning. You check the number. It's still too high. So your doctor adds another medication. Sound familiar? If it does, this video is specifically for you. My name is Dr. Kevin Adewale. I'm a cardiac surgeon. I've operated on thousands of hearts, and I can tell you, the problem is rarely just the pill itself. The real problem is what's happening inside your arteries. And there's a way to start fixing that, from your kitchen. Here's what most doctors don't have time to explain. High blood pressure after 60 is a completely different condition than at 40. Treating them the same way. Same pill, same dose, same thinking. That's where so many people get stuck for years. When you're young, arteries are flexible, like a brand new garden hose. Soft, elastic, expanding with every heartbeat perfectly. After 60, after decades of stress and inflammation, those same arteries begin to stiffen. It's gradual, but it's real, like an old rubber hose left in the sun for 30 years. Rigid, brittle. The natural elasticity is gone. Stiff arteries can't absorb your heartbeat properly, so your heart compensates by pushing harder. Every beat, every single minute. That high number on your monitor? Your heart working overtime. Not occasionally, every minute, 24 hours a day. Now, medications can lower that number. And I want to be crystal clear. I am not telling you to stop your medications. Never change medication without your doctor. What I'm saying is, pills suppress the reading. They don't rebuild the artery walls. They don't restore flexibility. They don't reduce the underlying inflammation that has silently damaged your vessels for years. That's the difference between silencing a symptom and healing the source. Today, we talk about healing the source. So what does actually begin to heal your blood vessels from inside? The answer has been at your grocery store the whole time. Let me start with something so simple, it almost sounds ridiculous. A glass of beet juice, 250 milliliters, before bed. I know what you're thinking. Beet juice. Really, doctor? Hear me out, because the science here is genuinely impressive. Beetroot is one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates on the planet. This is peer-reviewed nutrition science, not a trend. When you drink beet juice, nitrates absorb into your bloodstream and travel directly to the walls of your blood vessels. Your body converts those nitrates into something called nitric oxide. This tiny molecule changes everything for your cardiovascular system. Nitric oxide sends a direct signal to your artery walls. Relax. Open up. Stop holding so much tension. And they listen. The arteries dilate. Blood flows more freely. Resistance drops. Your pressure drops. Naturally, without adding another pill. A major study in the journal Hypertension tracked daily beet juice in older adults and carefully measured the cardiovascular results. They found a reduction in systolic pressure, your top number, of an average 8 full points within just a few hours. For people over 60, 8 points is clinically significant. That's real, measurable cardiovascular change produced by a food. Why before bed? Because blood pressure follows a daily rhythm, and it spikes sharply in early morning. Doctors call this the morning surge. That morning surge is one of the highest risk windows for stroke and heart events in older adults. Genuinely dangerous if your pressure is already elevated. Drinking beet juice in the evening gives nitric oxide time to build overnight, blunting that dangerous morning spike before it peaks. Most grocery stores carry cold-pressed beet juice. Look for no added sugar. Read the label. Or juice fresh beetroot yourself at home. One note, it will turn your urine pink. Completely harmless. Perfectly normal. Don't be alarmed when it happens. Have you ever tried beet juice before? Tell me in the comments. I'm genuinely curious how many of you have used it. Now, right alongside beet juice in your arsenal, and this surprises people, is raw garlic. Specifically and correctly prepared raw garlic. Garlic contains a compound called alliin. Inside an uncut clove is dormant, doing essentially nothing on its own. The moment you crush a clove, an enzyme called allinase is released, converting allin into allicin, the active compound. Allicin is the medicine. The crushing simply unlocks it. And it does two powerful things for your blood pressure specifically. First, it directly stimulates nitric oxide production. Same critical molecule as the beet juice pathway, both working at once. Second, allicin inhibits an enzyme called ACE. ACE inhibitors are among the most widely prescribed blood pressure medications in the world. Nature has its own ACE inhibitor, and it costs 30 cents. But here's the critical mistake that eliminates all the benefit. Most people cook garlic immediately. High heat destroys allanase before allicin can form. The benefit is gone before it ever began. Here's the correct method. Crush 1 or 2 cloves with the flat side of your knife. Genuinely broken open, not just bruised. Now, non-negotiable. You wait 10 to 15 full minutes. That window is when allanase performs the conversion you need. Then eat raw. Mix with olive oil on toast. Stir into cool dressing, or take with honey to soften the sharpness. 1 or 2 cloves daily. Consistent. Raw after waiting. Nothing more complicated. The whole protocol takes under 3 minutes. I've watched patients make just this one change and see meaningful improvements in their readings within 3 weeks. No new prescription. I need to pause and tell you about something quietly sabotaging everything you're trying to build. In your bathroom cabinet right now. Antibacterial mouthwash. It sounds completely unrelated to blood pressure. Give me 60 seconds, because this connection is critically important. That nitric oxide chain we built, from dietary nitrates to relaxed artery walls, it doesn't begin in your stomach. It begins in your mouth. Specific bacteria on your tongue, healthy, beneficial bacteria, are responsible for the first essential step of nitrate conversion. Without them, the chain stalls. No nitrites form correctly. No nitric oxide is produced. The entire cardiovascular benefit stops at step 1. Antibacterial mouthwash wipes out those bacteria completely. The harmful ones and the beneficial cardiovascular supporting ones, all gone in one rinse. Research from the University of Plymouth found people using antibacterial mouthwash twice daily had measurably higher blood pressure than those who didn't. The mechanism, specifically the disrupted nitrate pathway. The mouthwash was breaking the cardiovascular chain at its very first link. Think about this. You drink beet juice every evening, eat raw garlic daily, then antibacterial mouthwash significantly undermines both, twice a day, in one 30-second rinse, every day, without ever knowing the damage you are doing to your own cardiovascular efforts. Solution: switch to fluoride-only toothpaste with plain water rinse. Or choose mouthwash without antibacterial agents. They exist, just read the label. Your oral microbiome is actively part of your cardiovascular system. Start treating it that way. It matters more than most people realize. This is information I wish had been in every patient pamphlet 20 years ago. Almost nobody in medicine talks about this connection. Now, 3 nutrients your arteries almost certainly aren't getting enough of, especially as you move through your 60s and beyond. Magnesium, potassium, and dietary nitrates from leafy greens. I grouped them together because in your body, they function as a coordinated team. Start with leafy greens. Spinach, kale, arugula, the most nitrate-dense foods available. More nitrates, more vessel relaxation throughout your whole day. But leafy greens simultaneously deliver magnesium, the mineral that signals your blood vessel walls to stop contracting so forcefully. Think of magnesium as the body's natural off switch for arterial tension. One food delivering 2 powerful cardiovascular benefits at the same time. The challenge after 60. Magnesium absorption decreases significantly with age. Your gut becomes less efficient at extracting it from food. Most adults over 60 carry a quiet magnesium deficit. No dramatic symptoms, just pressure that stays stubbornly elevated despite everything else. Beyond greens, pumpkin seeds are exceptional. A small handful provides nearly half your full daily magnesium requirement in one simple snack. Almonds count too. And dark chocolate above 85% cacao is a genuine, evidence-backed magnesium source. Yes, entirely real. You're welcome. Now, potassium. This works through a completely different and complementary mechanism. It doesn't relax vessel walls directly like magnesium does. Potassium helps your kidneys flush out excess sodium, a primary biochemical driver of elevated blood pressure in older adults. More potassium means better sodium clearance, which means lower fluid pressure throughout your entire vascular system. Avocado is your best daily weapon. Half an avocado contains more bioavailable potassium than a banana, without the blood sugar spike from banana's higher sugar content. Sweet potato is outstanding, rich in both potassium and magnesium simultaneously. one of the most cardiovascular supportive foods at any grocery store. Your daily mineral target: 1 handful of leafy greens, half an avocado or sweet potato, a small handful of pumpkin seeds. Complete foundation. Does that feel manageable? It should. This isn't a restrictive program. This is an ordinary lunch, slightly and deliberately optimized for your heart. Now, here's a question almost nobody asks. We've been building up nitric oxide carefully, but what's actually protecting it long enough to work? Because nitric oxide is fragile. From the moment it's produced, free radicals in your bloodstream begin attacking and breaking it down. After 60, your body makes more free radicals and fewer natural antioxidants. The balance shifts unfavorably, and it's a losing battle without intervention. That is where vitamin C steps in. And its role here is almost always completely misunderstood by patients, and often by doctors too. Vitamin C doesn't directly lower blood pressure on its own. What it does is act as a shield, protecting nitric oxide from destruction. It neutralizes the free radicals that would otherwise destroy the nitric oxide your body worked hard to produce. More survives. More arteries relax. The whole system becomes dramatically more effective simply by protecting what's already there. Vitamin C multiplies every other step in this protocol. The single best food source? Not oranges. Not even close to what actually beats them. Red bell pepper. 1 medium pepper provides nearly twice the vitamin C of an orange. Raw, sliced, no cooking required whatsoever. 1 red bell pepper per day. Your daily insurance policy protecting every cardiovascular investment you've already made. Simple and effective. Now I want to address something invisible that doesn't appear on any blood pressure monitor, but is driving it higher every year. Chronic vascular inflammation. The slow biochemical fire inside your blood vessel walls. Most people with elevated pressure have it and don't know. As a cardiac surgeon, I see this directly in the operating room, in the actual tissue. Every time I operate on a heart over 60, inflamed arteries don't just stiffen, they narrow. They develop deposits along their walls. They lose the ability to respond to chemical signals. Even when your body produces adequate nitric oxide, an inflamed vessel wall may no longer respond to its signal. Inflammation breaks the entire chain. Omega-3 fatty acids are the most extensively researched natural cardiovascular anti-inflammatories we have. Not in pills, but in specific real foods. Specifically, EPA and DHA. Long-chain omega-3s found in fatty marine fish. These are the forms your heart uses most directly and efficiently. They reduce inflammatory markers in circulation, improve vessel wall flexibility, and decrease dangerous platelet aggregation, the clumping that precedes cardiovascular events. Best sources: salmon, sardines, mackerel. 2 to 3 servings per week. That's the clinical target research consistently points to for real benefit. A specific word about sardines: inexpensive, sustainable, packed with omega-3s. Don't dismiss them simply because they come in a tin. The longest-lived populations in the world, Mediterranean and Japanese communities, eat small, oily fish multiple times every week. No coincidence. Not a fish eater? Flaxseed and walnuts contain ALA, a shorter omega-3 your body can partially convert, though less efficiently than from fish. Still worth including consistently. Every reduction in vascular inflammation makes the beet juice, garlic, greens, and vitamin C all work better together. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Dorothy. 71 years old, sharp, determined, absolutely not ready to accept a dead end. Retired school teacher, walked 30 minutes every single morning, doing everything, genuinely everything, her previous doctors had told her to do. And yet, 3 separate blood pressure medications. Numbers at 162/94 on what she called a good day. Her previous doctor had told her bluntly, your body doesn't respond well to treatment. This elevated pressure is your permanent new normal. I disagreed entirely. We spent a long time in that first appointment. I asked about diet, routine, sleep, and her bathroom cabinet, including the mouthwash. She used antibacterial rinse twice daily because she'd been told it was good for her teeth. Nobody connected it to her heart. We made 5 changes. Beet juice before bed every evening. Raw crushed garlic daily, mixed with olive oil and lemon on whole grain toast. Spinach and avocado at lunch most days. Sardines twice a week. She discovered she enjoyed them on crackers with tomato, red bell pepper as her afternoon snack, and the antibacterial mouthwash, replaced immediately with fluoride toothpaste and plain water. That was the entire program. No supplements, no powders, no expensive protocols. 5 grocery store foods and 1 bathroom swap. At 6 weeks, her systolic reading had dropped by 19 points. Consistent, confirmed across multiple readings taken on separate days. At 10 weeks, 23 points lower than her starting number. Her cardiologist agreed, under supervision, to reduce 1 of 3 medications. She called my office on a Thursday afternoon. My nurse came in smiling. Dorothy is on the phone. She's crying, happy tears. Dorothy's results aren't guaranteed for everyone. Everybody is different. Every medication regimen has individual variables that must be respected. But her story is not unique. I've seen meaningful versions of exactly this outcome many times across 20 years of cardiac practice. The body has a genuine capacity to heal when it receives what it needs. Sometimes it just requires the right raw materials consistently. Here's exactly what I want you to walk away with today. Not a vague shopping list, a real 7-day starter protocol. 1 new habit per day. Small, manageable, genuinely sustainable. By day 7, the complete system is in place and actively working. Day 1. Buy cold-pressed beet juice today. No added sugar. Drink 250 milliliters before bed tonight. Just that. Day 2. Get garlic. Crush 1 clove with the flat of your knife. Wait 15 minutes. Eat it raw with lunch. Done. Day 3. Check your mouthwash label right now. If it says antibacterial, replace it today. Fluoride only or plain water from here on. Day 4. Add a real handful of leafy greens to 1 meal. Spinach and eggs. Rocket in a sandwich. Kale in soup. Your choice. Day 5. Eat half an avocado or 1 medium baked sweet potato. Potassium, covered. Magnesium foundation, supported. 4 minutes to prepare. Day 6. Slice 1 red bell pepper and eat it raw as your afternoon snack, instead of whatever you'd normally automatically reach for. Day 7. Open a tin of sardines at lunch, or cook a simple piece of salmon for dinner. Anti-inflammatory omega-3 foundation, now established. 7 days, 7 deliberate decisions. And here is what makes this genuinely powerful. These habits compound on each other. Beet juice works better because your oral bacteria are intact, completing the conversion. Garlic works better because vitamin C protects the nitric oxide it produces. Omega-3s reduce the inflammation that was blocking vessel walls from responding to nitric oxide signals in the first place. Each element amplifies every other. Remove one and the system weakens. Keep all 7, and they work like a well-coordinated medical team. This is not a 30-day challenge you abandon in week 2. This is a daily practice as ordinary as making your morning coffee. That consistency, applied patiently over weeks and months, is exactly where Dorothy's results came from. Small, steady, sustainable. Compounding quietly. Your arteries have been working hard for 60, 70, possibly 80 years without rest. Give them what they need. They will respond. Let's bring everything together clearly now. 5 things I want firmly in your memory when you close this video. Number 1, your medication is not the enemy, but it's not the complete answer. Pills manage the number. Food rebuilds the actual vessel. Number 2, nitric oxide is the central biological key. Beet juice and raw crushed garlic are your 2 most powerful natural sources. Use both daily. Number 3, check your mouthwash label tonight. Antibacterial agents are actively working against every dietary change you're making. Swap it immediately. Number 4, the mineral trio. Magnesium from greens and pumpkin seeds, potassium from avocado and sweet potato. Simple, affordable, and available this week. Number 5, chronic vascular inflammation is the hidden driver. 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish weekly brings it measurably down over time. Now, I have one question for you. Which of these 5 changes feels most realistic to start today? Not next week, today. Write your answer in the comments below. I read every response, and what you share directly shapes what I cover for this community next. If this gave you something genuinely useful, Share it with someone you love who is managing their blood pressure. A spouse, a sibling, a close friend over 60. This information should not be hard to find. People over 60 deserve to understand what is actually happening inside their blood vessels. Everything here is educational, not a replacement for personal medical care. Never change or stop any medication without your physician's supervision. Your case is individual. Work with your doctor. Take care of your heart. It has been taking care of you for a very long time.